right? So today the topic which we are going to discuss is systematic risk, and earlier also we have discussed about systematic risk. So systematic risk is basically the risk where we talk about the risk in a global context, where some major contingency arise in the market, and because of that contingency, you know, um, because of that contingency, each and every company in the market is suffering. Maybe it can be a stock market crash, it can be a pandemic, it can be a natural calamity, anything can be there which may cause such kind of problem where each and every company in the market will be suffering. So to calculate systematic risk, the symbol to calculate systematic risk is beta, right? So there are two methods to calculate beta. One is regression, which we have discussed earlier, and today the another method which we are discussing, that is correlation method. So basically, it is never asked that which method you can use, but it is good to know both the methods because at times it is required. Okay. Yes, so let's start with correlation method today. So in correlation, what do we do basically? We try to find out the relationship between two indices. So earlier also I told you that correlation in beta there is a benchmark index. Always there is a benchmark index. So we compare the performance of our stock with the benchmark one, right? So in today's example, we are discussing two stocks. One is the returns of ITC. So here we are discussing the returns of ITC. The returns of ITC are given to you. So these returns are given to you in percentage form. Okay. And then there are returns of BSE. So BSE is our benchmark, right? ITC is my stock and BSE is the benchmark stock, right? So these returns are given to you in the form of percentage. Now I have to find beta through correlation method. I have to find whether there is a relationship between these two variables or not. Okay. So here returns of ITC are 9.430, 4.31, and there are returns given to you, monthly returns given to you. So these are monthly returns. Okay. So in case of BSE, these are also monthly returns. Now I will be calculating beta through correlation method. So the formula which we apply to calculate beta here is um, R equals to n summation of xy minus summation of x into summation of y divided by under root n into summation of x square minus summation of x square x whole square into under the root n into summation of y square minus summation of y's whole square. So this is the formula to calculate correlation. First is correlation, right? So correlation method is a bit lengthy method. So obviously in exam it is not asked that which method you can use, but you should know both the methods. Yeah, but if it is not mentioned, you can apply any method. Either you can apply regression or correlation. It is completely up to you. So I would suggest, if it is not mentioned, always apply regression method. That is a bit easier and less troublesome. But there may be certain question where you must know these formulas. Otherwise, you would not be able to solve it, right? So let's move forward. So one thing is very important when you calculate beta. That is, do not interchange the values of x and y. X is always independent variable and y is always dependent variable. Okay. So do not interchange. If you will interchange it, you will commit a mistake, then the whole question will go wrong. So never ever get confused between x and y. X is always independent. So here BSE is the independent variable because on the returns of BSE, ITC's return would be dependent. So BSE is x and ITC is y, right? And n is the number of observations, right? So moving forward, so here as you can see in the formula, you have to calculate summation of xy, summation of x, summation of y, and similarly you have to calculate the summation of y square and summation of x square. So whatever values are given to you in this question, in this formula, you have to calculate first all these values. So these are the values given to you, right? Now we will calculate the remaining values. So this is first, these are the returns of 12 months, and this last one is the summation. Okay. So this is summation of y, and this is summation of x. Right. Now y square, we have to calculate y square and x square both. So y square is basically, 9.43 into 9.43, so it becomes 88.92. And similarly, I'm just squaring all the values of y. So 0 into 0 is 0. Then it is, minus 4.31 into minus 4.31. This is 18.58. Then it is 357.97, 44.49. Then we have 705.96. Then we have 400.00, 8.58. Then we have 27.56. Then we have 460.10, 535.00. Then it is 1077.81. And the summation of y square, here summation of y square is 3742.97. Okay. So next we will calculate x square. So x square is 54.91, 7.41. This, I'm doing the squaring of x variable. Okay. So here 7.41 into 7.41 is 54.91. Then minus 5.53 into minus 5.53 is 28.41. Then 54.02, 214.33, then 2.50. Then we have 230.74. Then 5.11 into 5.11 is 26.11, 0.58, 0.94. Then we have 108.99. Then we have 305.20, right? Then we have 406.02. Now we will calculate summation of x square. X is your independent variable. Always remember, x is independent. Do not ever get confused, otherwise the whole question will go wrong if you put x instead of y or y instead of x. So always be very, very careful. So summation of x square is 1432.75. Right. So now we'll calculate xy, but we will multiply x with y. So basically 9.43, this 9.43 multiplied by 7.41, and just like that we'll multiply the whole series, right? So this is 69.88. Then we have 0. Then we have, yes, 0. Then we have 31.68, 276.99, minus 10.54. Then we have 403.60, 102.20. Yes.
Ma'am, sorry to disturb you, ma'am. Sanyam is waiting in the waiting room. Can you please let him, ma'am?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, then it is 2.23 minus 5.09, 223.94, 404.08, then we have 661.52. So these are all the values we get by multiply x and y, independent series and dependent series. And the summation of x and y is 2160.49. So we have obtained all the values, okay? So now I will put all these values into the formula of correlation. So I will be putting this value here. Right? So n is, we have returns of 12 months, right? So n is 12. Then we have summation of x and y. Summation of x and y is 2160. So this is 2160.49. See this one. I'm putting this value, okay? So summation of x is summation of x and y is required. So this is 49.82 into 111.69, this value. Then we have again we'll put the values in denominator. N is 12. Summation of x square is 1432. This value, okay, 1432.75. 1432.75 minus summation of x whole square, right, raised to this. So here summation of x is 49.82. This value I will put. I will not put this value. Summation of x square I will not put. I will put summation of x, and when I will put summation of x, then I will square it. Okay, so there is a difference. So summation of x is 49.82. Then again n is 12. Then summation of y square. So here I will put summation of y square, this value. So this is 3724.97, and minus summation of y. All here also you will put summation of y, not y square, okay? First you will put summation of y, then you will square it. So this is 111.69 square. So now I will just elaborate this formula, try to solve it. So 12 into 2160.49 becomes 25,925.88. And if we'll multiply these two values, 49.82 into 111.69, we get 5564.40, right? And similarly we'll solve the denominator. So here it is 17193 minus, now we will square it. So this becomes 2482 2482.03, and here 12 multiplied by 3724.92, it becomes 44,699.64, right? And 111.69 square is 12474.66. Okay, so this is the value. Now we will further, try to solve it. So once you will solve it, the values which you will get, so here this value becomes, after subtracting, it is 20,361.48, and here it is, after subtracting, it is 14,710.97 into under root, this is 32,224, 32,224.98, and once you will solve it, it will become, I'm just directly putting the answer here after square rooting and multiplying. So the answer here is, once you will find the square root of 14,710 multiplied by square root of 32,224 point something is 21,772.94, and in the numerator it will remain same, 20,361.48. Right?
You're waiting in the lobby. Let her in.
Now we will solve it. So the final answer, the final correlation value we have got is 0.935. So this is how we have obtained correlation. But this is not the end of story. After calculating correlation, we have to find few more values. We have to calculate variance and we have to calculate standard deviation. So this is a long process. So here, so here are the formulas to calculate variance and standard deviation. So the formula to calculate standard deviation is n into sigma x square minus sigma x whole square divided by n square. And when you will just square it, or you will get variance. Square of standard deviation is variance. So now we have to see that as you can see in beta's formula, let's see. So here beta I is the beta of the security, like beta I is the beta of ITC, right? And RIM stands for, this RIM stands for correlation of individual security with the market security, right? So this which we have calculated earlier. So RIM is the, I should write it, okay? So here beta I is the beta of security, right? So we can also call it risk of security in which you are investing. Then we have RIM. So RIM is the correlation between individual security and the market returns. Okay. So here correlation between individual security and securities return. Securities return and market return. As we have calculated earlier, we calculated the correlation between ITC's returns and market returns. No? So similarly, RIM is correlation between individual securities return and markets return. Then we have standard deviation. So standard deviation of I is standard deviation of the security in which you want to invest. Standard deviation of the security in which investor wants to invest. And then we have standard deviation of m. So this is standard deviation of market returns. Standard deviation of market returns. Standard deviation of the securities returns. Right? Then there is sigma square m. So sigma square m is basically variance of market returns. So as I told you, variance is square of standard deviation, and M stands for market returns. M is basically market return, that is BSE, and which we call X. Okay. So variance of market returns. So basically now what we have to do, we have to calculate standard deviation of both X and Y, but variance of only X. I can just write it. We have to calculate variance of X. Here we have to calculate standard deviation of X, and here standard deviation of Y. Now move forward. First we'll calculate standard deviation. So the formula for standard deviation is this. First we will calculate standard deviation of X, right? Market, Y, individual, okay? So standard deviation of Y, individual security. So the formula is this. So instead of X, I will write Y. So it will make more sense, because we are calculating standard deviation of Y, which is market individual securities return. So I'm just writing it as Y so that you will be more clearer. So let's put the values now. So N is 12 here, and X square is already given to you in the question, right? So here X square, let's see from the question, what was it? Y square, sorry, not X square. I'm so sorry, I'm again and again saying we have to calculate Y square, and here also we have to calculate summation of Y. So just remove it. So 12 into summation of Y square. So I'll see from the question what is summation of Y square. So this is summation of Y square, individual security. Okay. So this is 3742.97. So this is right, minus summation of Y is whole square. So summation of Y is 111.69, and we have to calculate its square, right? Its square, and N square here is, N is 12, so 12 into 12 we can do. 12 into 12 is 144. I'm directly writing it. Okay. So now we will solve it. So 12 into 3724 is 44,699.64, minus 111.69 square is 12,474. 12,474.66 divided by 144, and once we'll solve it, the value which we obtain is after finding the square root. Okay, so the value which we obtain is okay, I'll just write a square root value as well, so that will be easier for you. So this value is 223.78, and the final answer is 14.96. So this is how we have calculated standard deviation of y. Now similarly we will calculate standard deviation of x, right? So just copy paste these values so that it would become a bit easier. So now we will calculate standard deviation of x. This is market return.
हम स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन जो आप निकाल रहे हो
Yes.
इसका बेसिक मतलब ये सिग्निफाई क्या करता है स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन?
So basically standard deviation signify the variance of all the values from mean value, right? So for example, the mean, if I calculate average of all these values, all the monthly returns for 12 months, right? So maybe the mean return for 12 months is 10%, right? But if we observe the returns of, for example, June, it is 20%. So it is quite far away from the mean value. So standard deviation basically tells you the variance from mean value. The more the larger the value of standard deviation, the difficult the prediction is.
Basically in this context mean is the mean value of all the returns.
No, standard deviation is the variance from mean value.
हाँ नहीं वो स्टैंडर्ड डेविएशन वाला पॉइंट समझ मैं कह रहा हूँ जो मीन ले लिया है
Yes.
और जो भी रिटर्न आया पिछले पास्ट का उसका हमने टोटल उस रिटर्न्स के बेस पे मीन निकाला है.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Okay. So market return. Okay. So here n square is again 144. Here 144. So I'll just change the values to x because now I'm calculating market return, not individual securities return. So only difference is changing x and y, right? So 12 into, now I will find the value of x square. So let's see from the question what is the value of x square here. X square's value is 1432.75. This is the value. Okay. So I will just copy paste the value here. Right. And x square, we have to calculate x square's square. So this is 49.82. Right. So 49.82's square. So here I have put the value of x square, that is 49.82. 49.82 square we have to calculate. So now 12 into 1432.75 is 17,193, and 49.82 square is 2482.03. So once we'll calculate it, we will get 102.16, and square root of 102.16 is 10.11. So this is the standard deviation. So here variance is this 102.16 only. Either you can square 10.11 or you can just write 102.16. It will be same thing. So here the variance we have obtained is 102.11. Beta. So this is the formula for beta. Control C. So now beta equals to, here we are. So first I need RIM, basically correlation of individual security with market. So this we have calculated. See, here we have calculated it 0.935, right? So I will put this value 0.935. 0.935 into standard deviation of market return. So individual securities return, so standard deviation of individual securities y. So this is 14.96, right? So this is 14.96. We'll put here 14.96 into, again, standard deviation of market returns. So standard deviation of market, basically x standard deviation of x, that is 10.11. So here I will just copy paste 10.11. Right? And I need variance of market return. So variance is 102.11. This is what I got. And once I will solve it, the value of beta I have obtained from this is 1.384. So here you can see that the value of beta is greater than 1. So whenever the value of beta is greater than 1, it signifies that the market return is greater than, so the securities return is greater than the market return. So security is bearing more risk. So if the security is bearing more risk, obviously the return of the security would also be higher, right? So